Welcome to Insta Legal. It has become very important for a fresher who is seeking out a job to understand the terms of the contracts of the employment which he is entering into. One of the very important terms that any employee should be aware about is the clause of non-solicitation. What is its legal validity in Indian scenario is what we are going to discuss today. So the topic for today's discussion is legality of non-solicitation clause. What basically is a non-solicitation? It is if in respect of an employment agreement, it is meant that the employee agrees not to solicit the client of the companies or customers for his or her own benefit or for the benefit of the competitor of the company after termination of his employment with the current company. Now, such clauses are for a predefined specific period, which could be a separate agreement or a clause in the employment agreement of the employee. What basically is the validity of such a non-solicit clause? First, we need to understand the validity of non-solicit clause in India. Now, the non-solicit clause comes into force only on the termination of the employment of the employee with the current employer. It is considered as a restraint of trade clause, which even the Honorable Supreme Court has been reluctant to enforce, since the same is barred as per the principles of contract laid down in the Indian Contract Act and is directly against the fundamental right provided to every person, that is, right to livelihood. Now, why such a contract, such a clause of non-solicitation has been considered to be a restraint of trade? The courts have been very strict in enforcing the restrictive covenants post-employment on any employee. It has been held time and again that negative covenants between the employer and the employee contracts pertaining to putting restrictions on employees' right to seek employment in the same field would be in restraint of trade. Now, while coming to such kind of a conclusion, the courts have considered whether when the agreement had been entered between the employer and the employee, whether there was any equal bargaining power, or was the contract unconscionable, or was the contract wholly one-sided contract. Are these a reasonable restrictions on the employment of an employee? If there is no garden leave clause, can you enforce a restrictive covenant putting the employee into a state of idleness where you are not paying and he is not entitled to receive employment from any other person because his skills are based upon something which only a competitor or a client whose requirement is fulfilled by the employee is done. Now, in those circumstances, the courts have very vehemently decided in favor of the employees unless the employer is in a direct non-solicit clause with the client itself, and then the client is asking the employee to come and join the particular client's company. In such cases, the court has held that the non-solicitation clause may be reasonable, but that would depend only on the facts and circumstances of a particular case. The courts have never held till date that if any employee who is based upon a particular skill can be restrained to join a particular client or a company, irrespective of the fact that he has signed a non-solicitation clause in the agreement. Another scenario which the court considers to be valid is when there is a threat of disclosing of the confidential information. For that, non-disclosure agreements are there. So if you put the non-solicitation clause in the non-disclosure agreements, the courts have held that such a clause would not be applicable on the employee's right to seek employment. So whenever you as an employee is seeking an employment with the employer being a fresher, you need to be considerate enough to argue or to negotiate on such clauses being found in the agreement. Even if these clauses are there, that does not mean that you will not be able to get an employment elsewhere. The companies will threaten you that we will take legal action against you, but the legal action would be successful only if the restriction imposed is reasonable in nature and the agreement was signed with the consensus of both the parties without any force or coercion, and one of the parties being in a dominant position or in an unconscionable agreement. Such restrictive covenants are not enforceable in India. Thank you very much.